Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Nightfall Master Run on Glassway with Hunter and of course the no cheese method. For my subclass, I'll be using the Night Stalker bottom tree. For my kinetic, I'll be using the 7 set-off Opposite Revolver with the Arc Scout, the Eternal Blazon. Of course, I'll be using the famous Anarchy. And unfortunately, I'll be forced to use the Wormhusk crown with 5 mobility, grenade launcher ammo finder, and range of the warmind mod. Gauntlets, I'll be using anti-barrier scout rifle, overload hand cannon with the 5 mobility, and fireteam medic. Chest armor is arc damage resistance, 10 disciplined. Grenade launcher reserves with global reach. For the leg armor, it's 10 disciplined, grenade launcher scavenger, a arc mod I am forced to use so I can get 20 plus mobility. Lastly, I'll be using the bridge and clear with the draft of Rasputin. So for this week, I had to use Wormhusk, which I despise Wormhusk because of attrition. Now, just because I say I don't like Wormhusk doesn't mean that I won't be using it. If I have to use it in a video, especially for a Nightfall like this, for attrition, then I will use it no matter what, if I like this weapon, well, this armor or not. And there is so much things to talk about, and I'll be talking about a lot of things. But first things first, yes, we'll be using Anarchy, because my goal for this video is to get the 100k. And there was little mess ups with the warmind cells, which the warmind cells was not cooperating with me because they kept falling down the cliff, and that's just yelling of me getting bungeed throughout this entire video. Now there are so many champions you can see there. Warmind cell decided to be bungee and just fall off the cliff. I wanted to use it so I can clear down the shanks much more quicker. And it's basically a fast reaction, but if you are on console, sometimes aim assist can mess up of shooting your warmind cells. Now I decided to just ignore the warmind cell a bit, and I was thinking maybe if I shoot it, it will shoot down the shanks, but I was wrong about that. Now I decided to use the Arc Scout Rifle just to deal down with the harpies. And another reason why I'm using the Scout Rifle is it has the Disruption Break, which when you do break the anti-barrier shield, you get a couple seconds of 50% buff on your kinetic weapon. So that's the only reason why I'm using this kinetic, and honestly I would prefer with explosive payload on a Arc Scout Rifle, but since, you know, the Scout Rifle that I used to use is Sunset, I can't use it for this video, and I'm going to have to farm another weapon for next season or whenever it is available for a explosive payload Arc Scout Rifle. Now over here, decided to make some Anarchy traps and just went forward to the Overload Champion. I mean, why not? I mean, we are using Anarchy, and I wanted to take down this Overload Champion so I can make a warmind cell. And I'm trying to remember if the warmind cell fell off, just like it always does in my videos. So you will see very soon that not everything is perfect. You know, it's RNG of the warmind cells. And if you do have perfect landing of warmind cell, then the run will be much more quicker and very clean. But sometimes warmind cells can fall off the cliff, they just go rolling around and they don't want to be destroyed, and it can be very frustrating, especially when trying to go for the 100k, and when warmind cells is not working out or you just cannot shoot it, then the run's going to be a little slow. But we got the 100k, so that's all that matters throughout this video. Now you saw there, I immediately took down the anti-barrier champion, of course switched to my kinetic to make a warmind cell. Now, same thing just like the previous seasons. it's best to not push forward because this boss, this mini boss, he can use stasis. So he can throw a grenade at you and freeze you. He can go Titan mode and just put crystals all over the floor, which can mess you up very quickly. But first things first, I always just try to take that Overload champion because every time I wanna, DPS the boss or use my super, this Overload champion always ruins my DPS and I always try to take him down very quickly. So you can see I use Anarchy, I switched to my kinetic weapon. I'm trying to shoot down this warmind cell. Like, nah, Blitz, you can't shoot me. I'm gonna go on the cliff. Lovely, lovely. So, hope everyone learned something that these warmind cells can be a bit irritating to shoot. And they are a bit little tanky. Not tanky, but it seems that you have to shoot more bullets on the warmind cells for it to be destroyed. So they did some little touch-ups with the warmind cells for this season compared to last season. So, it is what it is. And of course, they're going to be nerfing the warmind cell build, which is okay because next season is definitely not going to be Glassway. Hopefully it'll be something else because I am really fed up with Glassway. Glassway is still very new to me. It hasn't been a year yet. Especially doing the no cheese method was a big headache, but I got it done. Everything's good. And yeah, the power of Wormhusk. Did you guys see that? Yeah, Wormhusk. Okay, here you go, Blitz. Little bit of health. That's all you need. I swear, this Wormhusk does not like me. Look at that. Please comment. Look at that. Why did the Wormhusk didn't give me a lot of health compared to the Titan? Now you can see I destroyed the boss, left the warmind cell, and try to clear down a couple of ads. So you can see it isn't the cleanest. You can see I missed my anarchy shots. Okay, let's be honest, nobody's perfect. And I switched my kinetic weapon since it has a buff with the disruption break. And I made another warmind cell, and then I just proceed to the next level. You have to go really, really fast to get to the boss fight. That way you can get more points, and you can relax a little bit, by the way, to get the 100k. Now, there is other loadouts that you could get 100k, but to be honest, I would wait for chaff or famine. I wouldn't recommend for togetherness or attrition. So now you're probably thinking, what am I doing? Why am I pulling back? So there is one Overload champion, a couple of vandals, another stasis boss which everyone despises, especially for Grandmaster. Now there are options of putting arc resistance or void resistance. It all depends of the player and the play style, because for me, I always have trouble dealing with arc. And I just got really fed up of getting sniped. Sometimes getting one shot by this arc snipers, and the stasis boss. So I wanted to make my life a little bit easier and just put arc resistance. And I added grenade launcher reserves because, well, I mean, we're using anarchy, why not, for master. You can see I destroyed the Overload champion, and I'm trying to use a warmind cell and to see if I can take down the stasis boss from far away. Now, if you do have your super, you can use your super to take down the stasis boss. I'm trying to remember if I did use my super or not. But if you do have super, you can use it, but be aware that the arc stasis boss can take you down, especially when you're on your super, because if you're in the air, void is highly increased, along with you jumping in the air is increased a bit. So a bit of grounded, basically, and void. So you can see that was a nice shot. So my anarchy actually bounced to the boss. Like, that's something new that we don't see every day. Now on purpose, I wanted to make a warmind cell so I can clear down the ads and just lure them into a trap. So you can see here, I'm going to trap them, shoot the warmind cell, and take down the anti-barrier champion. Now, I'm trying to remember if I did mess up here, but when you do take down the barrier champion, always switch your kinetic weapon, since, you know, if you are using a disruption break scout rifle, then you can switch your kinetic weapon to do more damage momentarily. So, you can see here, I am just going to collect some anarchy, scout around, and resume. Now, I didn't want to waste time, so I just decided to go invisible and just said, nah, points are not really worth it. I mean, there's no champions in this area right now. So for Hunter, you can just go and skip them, or if you're on Warlock, you just throw a turret and just run away of your life. Or you could just use a melee and freeze them. Now this is the area where it's going to go easy peasy or it's gonna go a nightmare. Very RNG with the warmind cell of where it's going to land. It's either going to jump and then it's just gonna go off the edge, or it's gonna be in the floor and you can easily take it down and clear down a couple of ads. So you can see here, unfortunately my warmind cell did not like me and it was very close. You can see that I only killed a couple of ads, not enough as I wanted. So if the warmind cell jumped the other way, then I can clear down basically the entire ads around here. So you have to be very focused when trying to make warmind cells. So now there are 2 overload champions, and this one could be a little bit tricky because there is a sniper from far away, but I really wanted to take down this overload champion first, because every time I try to take down the snipers, then this overload champion gets in my way. So since we're using anarchy, then you can just easily take him down. And sometimes he can fall down, but you know, anarchy does the job. So even if he does escape, it's a possibility that he will be taken down, and then you could just move on. Now you can see here, I was trying to make a warmind cell and it wasn't working out. So I was trying to see if I can at least use anarchy, and I was trying to make traps, but then decided to save my anarchy. You know, it's just a big debate, like, will they push towards the anarchy trap? And they didn't, so I basically wasted 2 anarchy shots of my life. And yeah, these vandals love to play hide and seek, and it's a struggle because I would love to have explosive payload on my arc sky rifle. It's like a huge debate, you know, because it'll make it much more easier of dealing with these snipers. And when you don't have explosive payload, then it's gonna take a while to take them down, and it could be very frustrating. Now everything looks good, but there are still a couple of vandals that are not cooperating, and I was full on heavy, so I was a little happy that I had full anarchy. And then this overload champion can be a bit frustrating, so I was hearing the overload champion behind me, so that's why I turned invisible and pulled back, because there are times there's weird bugs where the overload champion can actually go behind you, and it's crazy. Very buggy, these overload champions. I feel like they're more buggy than ever for this season compared to last season. It's just so horrendous, it's ridiculous. And I was just trying to be super cautious because I did turn down the music so I can hear the footsteps, hear the Overload champions, and especially those Wyverns, the deadly Peacock Vex. Yes, that's their nickname I like to give them because they actually walk like one, and when they go to aggressive, they kind of walk like one. It's so creepy, you know? And of course they are referenced as dragons, but for me, I think the other way around would be more better name than dragons. So right now I was waiting for my smoke so I could just skip these vandals. So it's a big debate. If you do have a smoke, then you can just skip them, you know, to save time. Because basically you need as much time as you want for the boss fight. Now you can see I was at the 15-minute mark, so I was a little late. I'll say 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late. Now if I did had the right warmind cells landing on the right precisions, then it would have been much more faster and I would have been here like 12 minutes or 11 minutes, you know, etc. But, you know, like I said, warmind cells, when making one, it's RNG of where they're gonna land, by the way. I'm not saying RNG of how many warmind cells you need to kill. I'm talking about of how they land. Sometimes they land where you want it to be so you can destroy it and clear down the ads. And sometimes they're not cooperating and they're going to go to the pit. And it could be pretty bad because it's going to take more time for you to get to the mini boss fight. So now I'm just trying to capture the plates, and for some reason for solo, I don't know why, it's always been like this, but when doing solo, there's really no snipers, but when you're in the fire team, then there are snipers. There must be a trick, like I am not entirely sure, by the way. But every time I do this run, my test runs, I never get snipers on my solo runs. Super weird. I don't know, maybe Bungie feels pity for me and decides for me to not have snipers. So you can easily capture the plate. And if you're on warlock, you can just go with the healing rift and just clear them down very quickly. So now everything looks good, you know, I'm just casually just shooting down the explosive shanks from left and right. And now this is the part where the warmind cell is going to be your best friend or it's not going to work out with you. So if warmind cells is not, if you can't shoot down your warmind cells, then this is going to be a long pre-boss fight. And if you are lucky and warmind cells, you know, they love you and they're landing the right spots and not falling down for an electric pole of death, then it's gonna be very quickly. It's gonna be like around 3 minutes on this, well, I would say 2 minutes around this area. So now I decided to first things first, take down the Overload champion so I can make warmind cell and then just scout a little bit. So there are a couple of ads that I did not kill yet. Now I'm going to be reloading my anarchy, and this part's going to be a bit annoying, but there's going to be a solar shank and I'm going to bait the solar shank. Now I'm trying to put anarchy shots and my warmind cell unfortunately didn't land it on me. You know, RNG where it lands, and I had a plan of making a warmind cell and destroy it and then take down the shank, but it didn't work out well. And like I said, warmind cell landing is RNG, so I'm just letting everyone know. I was trying to see if I can find it. It's not there, so it disappeared, unfortunately. And it's gonna be a nightmare because I was trying to make a warmind cell in this video. And like I said, if you're not making a warmind cell, then these snipers are gonna be a nightmare. These vandals are gonna be a nightmare. And the barrier champion is just gonna frustrate you. So yeah, isn't this fun? So when you don't have explosive payload on your scout rifle, the snipers on top are going to hide behind those little walls, those brown walls, and they're just going to be very frustrating to take down. So now I was trying to see if I could take down this barrier champion, and he is super RNG. Sometimes he just stays in that spot where I'm aiming. He doesn't fall down, he doesn't really move. And then sometimes he's just on the left side, like you can see here. He's just standing there. I was thinking maybe I should use an anarchy shot, but then I was like, sniper, need to take down the sniper. And the snipers are hiding, and you can see it's so frustrating without stasis or warmind cell in this area. So like I said, this area can be a piece of cake, warmind cell's your best friend, or it's gonna be a nightmare where you're having trouble making a warmind cell and snipers are taking forever to kill, which it shouldn't, but it just does. You know, like I said, this run is not perfect, it's not the cleanest. And I had a clean run, a very clean run. Like, it was probably the cleanest run I've ever done. But I died at the boss fight. Well, the barrier champion destroyed me because I was being too confident. You know, reckless as usual. So, I decided to push, take down this barrier champion, because he was just very, very frustrating. I wanted to take him down and make a warmind cell, but the warmind cell fell down to the pit. And sometimes a warmind cell disappears from the arc pit, or it's there. So lucky me, finally I made a warmind cell and I can destroy all these snipers that are bothering me so much. So you can see the power of the warmind cell, especially with global reach. You can take down the snipers quite easily. And like I said, without using a warmind cell, then this pre-area, this pre-room is going to take forever. These snipers are going to play hide and seek. Super frustrating. I'm trying really hard not to get angry in this video, but, well, you know, get a little upset. But I'm trying to be positive. And now the boss fight. So, remember my old video where I was on warlock stasis using the outbreak pulse rifle? And I was doing the cheese spot, you know, etc, without anarchy. Well, in this one, fortunately we can't do the cheese, so basically I had to face my fears of the Wyverns, the evil Vex that can one-shot you throughout this entire video. This boss fight is going to be very, very toxic and very long. So basically for 22 minutes of my life, maybe 25, it's just going to be the boss fight, because there are like around 16 champions overall. And now I'm just trying to bait the first overload champion. And for this method can be a tricky, so I decided to use 2 anarchy shots, throw a nade, and then just keep shooting with my kinetic weapon, and then dodge, turn invisible, and then pull back. So now I was debating to just take down the overload champion right away, and it looked pretty safe, so I decided to just go forward with it, because he wasn't really pushing towards me or following me when invisible. So you can see that it's very dangerous to do this method, especially with this Hydra. So if you do stay away from this Hydra, he'll be harmless, but then when he just gets close to you, then he goes a little aggressive and starts shooting arc. That's the reason why I decided to just put arc resistance, because of this annoying mini boss, this mini Hydra. Now I want to make this Hydra to disappear, so I use my super. There's another reason why I'm on Night Stalker bottom tree, so I can use my super and just get rid of him very quickly. Now I was thinking of using stasis, but I don't don't know, like the stasis for Hunter, the tornado just doesn't like me. And now you can see here I'm trying to bait the Overload Champion. Throw a nade, 2 anarchy shots, 1 in the body, 1 on the floor if possible. If not, you know, hopefully you won't take down your own anarchy. You know, etc, etc. The basic rules of using anarchy. Now I have to take down the next Overload Champion. Fantastic, you know that? This is just perfect. These Overload Champions were cooperating and I was happy, you know, it was just standing there, which usually sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes both champions push you and then you have to like manipulate these Overload Champions so you can take them down one by one. And in this video, they were standing, minding their own business, and I was happy that it worked out pretty well only on this phase. In other phases, I had some trouble with Overload Champions. So now I'm just trying to debate, to make this boss push towards me. And I had an idea. Now, another method you can do is go down the stairs from the right side, and you can just put anarchy shots. Now, the reason why I'm over here is because I want to bait the Overload Champions when they spawn on the next phase. Well, I would say the Wyverns, not the Overload Champions. So yeah, I do apologize because, you know, there's just so many champions in this boss fight that sometimes you forget. And now I'm just trying to do some anarchy shots and to do DPS of 1 bar of the boss's health. And this method right now is good, but sometimes can be bad. Sometimes the boss doesn't like to cooperate. As you can see here, he doesn't like to be DPS. Like, nah, Blitz. Okay, maybe. And then he's like, nah, I'm gonna go walk away. If you are using a Sky Rifle explosive payload, then this would be much more easier. So even if you do a body shot at the boss, it will still do a lot of massive damage, especially when using Breach and Clear artifact. So you can see I'm just putting a little anarchy shots, and I'm going to be saving my anarchy because we're going to be facing the most gruesome, probably the most powerful enemies throughout this entire boss fight. Like, the boss fight is not even a problem. These guys over here, so the Wyverns. So on Master, they can one-shot you. Grandmaster, they can one-shot you. I tried putting Void of Resistance, it doesn't work out. You have to play hide and seek and hopefully pray you don't die. So now I'm just trying to shoot anarchy shots and just do probably the most efficient way and just get the hell out of here and stay away from them. Because once they do that sound, this poof, it's like a weird noise they do. And if they hit you less than a second, you will die. So you have to be super cautious, and that's why I lower the music so I can hear their footsteps, hear their sound, and study their movements. I don't know how to explain it, but that's basically the method I do. I just try to hear their footsteps, try to study them really hard. Try not to let them sneak attack me, because there are times where they just go behind me like, hey Blitz, what's up? And then they kill me. So now you can see that sometimes I don't think they've done this the old previous seasons, but sometimes these barrier champions can go inside the cave. And I don't think they've done that before. This area sometimes cannot be 100% safe. And you must be aware of the barrier champions, hear their footsteps. So I was lucky there because I heard footsteps and I walked very slowly. And you saw that I saw a anti-barrier champion just minding his own business, saying, "Hi Blitz, what's up? just scouting, and then it just walks away or it teleports away. Another thing I like to mention is these anti-barrier champions like to teleport away, and now I'm going to be dealing the next phase of these Wyverns or the evil peacock vex, which highly recommend you stay the hell away from them. Do anarchy shots, stay away. If you do have, if it's just one Wyvern, do anarchy shot. And if you can use a finisher, then you can use it. So now I'm just trying to be super cautious, playing Metal Gear Solid of my life. Because every time I face them, remember they can one-shot you. If you try using Protective Light, they can one-shot you. No matter what, they are extremely dangerous. So just want to let everyone know that. So even in Grandmaster, even if you have Protective Light, it's not going to help. They will one-shot you. I know I said it so many times. I'm just giving a warning because I don't want somebody to kind of say, well, they don't because of... No. They one-shot you, period. Just stay away from them. If you are on Stasis Hunter, not Hunter. If you're on Stasis Warlock, just use your super. Use your super on those Wyverns. Trust me, it's worth it. I wouldn't use it on the Mini Hydra. Just use it on them because they are the most dangerous throughout this entire boss fight. And it's ridiculous. Like, I feel like Bungie needs to nerf them a little bit. Because it just baffles me of how powerful they are. Now I'm going to be dealing with 4 champions. Boy, oh boy. If you guys think this is fun, I mean, for you it's fun. I mean, for me it's not fun, but for you watching this is, you know, fun for you. But this is gonna be a bit toxic, and there is a method to deal with this, and you have to lure, I would say, 2 champions. And then once you take down 2 champions, then you can push and take down the other 2 champions that always like to fall back, or they do push in front of you. So now I'm just trying to bait them, and it is a bit RNG about this. And you must be careful because sometimes they can one-shot you in Master, and then sometimes they don't. It's super weird. You can see I'm just trying to put an anarchy shot, and then of course he's gonna walk away, but not today. You know, anarchy does the job done. It gets the job done, you know. Over here I missed my anarchy shot, and I was trying to see if I can make a move, and it worked. So I decided to take him down very quickly. Make a warmind cell, which, you know, you don't have to make a warmind cell. By the way, just make sure you take down the barrier champions as fast as possible, since we're going for the 100k. I mean, if you're not going for 100k, you just want to complete platinum, then you don't have to, like, stress yourself and, you know, kill them very quickly. You could just take your time. But in this video, I want to get the 100k no cheese video, so I had to kill them very quickly. And now I'm going to be dealing with more barrier champions. Well, Overload. Now I'm trying to bait these Overload champions, so I shot there so the Hydra can just hang around the back. And now I'm going to wait for the Overload champion. Now, just to let everyone know, this is RNG. Sometimes 2 champions push you. And I was lucky here. I was like, okay, gotta get rid of him very quickly before the other Overload champion decides to work together and collaborate with me. And I don't want that to happen. Now there's gonna be a couple of explosive ads, Vex, and I cannot take down the Overload champion yet until I take down a couple of these ads. So these guys can be a bit annoying. It's always best to clear them down, and I'm trying to make a warmind cell. So if I was able to make a warmind cell, you know, I can clear them right now and save so much time. And this can be a bit stressful, because you will have to be careful, because sometimes Overload champion can just say, "Hi, Blitz," and then shoot you and then walk away, and then messes up your run, your 100k, your solo flawless, etc, etc. So now I'm just trying to multitask because I hear footsteps and then I look and I have a feeling the upload champion's there, but he's just trying to sneak up on me. I'm like, not today, not in this video. Alright, so now I'm just taking my time a little bit to clear down a couple of ads. So you can see where I'm standing. This used to be the cheese spot. There was a door opening behind me, but Bungie were like, nah guys. So they decided to nerf, well, patch, and you can't go through the mini cheese spot like before, which is okay. I mean, even it doesn't really matter for me, to be honest. You know, it just take me longer, and you know, I just have to study a little bit more of how the boss works, etc. Because you know, this Nightfall is still very, very new to me. So now, finally, I was baiting this Overload champion. And I shot another anarchy shot, you know, just in case something goes wrong. And the power of fireteam medic. So now I cleared out all the ads. Overload champion, you can see there are heavy bricks, and I decided to just ignore it. I don't know why, maybe I should have picked them up. You know, it's just those little things where I'm like, no, I'll just save it just in case, you know, if something goes wrong. So now I'm going to bait this Hydra, and now you're probably wondering why I'm not going to the stairs. You can go to the stairs, but for me, we're gonna deal with more Overload champions, so I wanted to do the same method where I bait the Hydra to stay there and have the Overload champions to walk at the front so I could take one down, and it could make my life easier so I don't have to worry about 2 Overload champions following me, because we all know how that's gonna go. It's gonna be a nightmare. It's not gonna be fun. And then when you're trying to do DPS on the first Overload champion, the second one's like, oh no, Blitz, you gotta kill me too. And then they take you down. And then it's a wipe, so it's not fun. So now I'm gonna do the same method, and like I said, sometimes both of them push towards you. And I'm going to wait very patiently. I'm gonna go on my Prey Metal Gear Solid mode, I guess. I don't know. And this Overload champion is gonna be walking, minding his own business, hopefully. And it did not work out, so you can see it didn't work out. So I have to go for the plan B or C. I'm not really sure, so I decided to take down a couple of goblins, a couple of explosive ads. And at the same time, I got 2 Overload champions on my tail. And I'm trying to figure out how am I going to deal with this if they didn't push towards me. So you can see that's another reason why I just preferred to do DPS at the Hydra, and then I should have keep shooting at that specific back way where the Hydra was. That way I can try to bait them, but sometimes it doesn't work, and it's RNG with the Overload champions. So now I am trying to see if I can bait the Overload champions or clear down a couple of ads. So I saw one Overload champion. I was like, okay, let me see if I can take him down. Just trying to be super cautious because I really want him to walk towards inside the cave so I can do DPS, use anarchy, and take him down quickly. So you can see I'm trying to bait him, but then I was like, okay, maybe I'll try a different method. Let's try the same method again, except, you know, I'm gonna be right here. So then I saw 2 Overload champions looking for me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is probably the worst scenario I have to encounter right now. So I turned invisible, I went back to this area, and I saw a lot of these frantics, so I was like, I need to jump over them, make them explode, because they're gonna mess up my DPS if I try to take down the Overload champion right now. So now I'm trying to bait this boss to move because I kept shooting Void and I don't want him to kill me. So now I'm gonna go over here and try again. So there are still a couple of ads. Overload Champion. I'm trying to see if I can bait one, like just one Overload Champion to take down, and then my life will be easier. So you can see the problem here of dealing with these Overload Champion. They're RNG, and if it goes wrong, as you can see, something went wrong, then it could be a problem. Now, this was probably dangerous to do, but I had no choice. Just to let everyone know, sometimes the final boss can shoot void of where the spot I was doing DPS. You can see there he was shooting, so I finally did DPS very quickly. And you can see right there that the boss is shooting at the specific spot that I was doing DPS at the Overload Champion. The spot there isn't the safest when the final boss is there. That's why I try to make him move from the back so he won't destroy me. And now I need to manipulate this boss, well, Overload Champion. And you can see how glitchy this guy is. So I always pop 2 anarchies, throw a nade if possible. You can take down this Overload Champion without the nade, but I honestly don't want to risk it because I want it to be 100% real. I want to be 100% sure I will take down this Overload Champion and not have him walk towards me while shooting, and it's not going to be fun. Now I was lucky here that the boss finally was cooperating and said, okay Blitz, hello, and I can do some DPS so he can disappear. Now unfortunately I'm going to be facing probably the most stressful, toxic phase of the deadly Wyverns. Now you can see here I was being very silly. So I thought I cleared out all the ads for the Wyverns to spawn. So just to let everyone know, for them to spawn you have to clear down all the ads, make sure, and then you can make them spawn. So here I kind of missed one guy by mistake, you know, silly me, you know, nobody's perfect. Wasted anarchy shots, and now I can finally deal with the most dangerous enemy throughout this entire game, the Wyverns. The Peacock Vex, the evil Vex, which I just despise. So now usually they can go from left or right. So now I'm just trying to be super careful, turn invisible. I kill one with anarchy, which I was happy. And now I'm trying to look for the last one. So you can see he is walking towards me and he is shooting those voids, which they can one-shot you by the way. And I'm going to be playing hide and seek with this Wyvern until I can use my finisher. So you can see this is not a good spot, so I decided to move because this mini Hydra can destroy me if I'm trying to do DPS at the Wyvern. So now I'm just trying to find a good spot, shoot 2 anarchy shots, and run away a bit. And finally I kill the final deadly Wyvern Vex. For now, but unfortunately we're dealing with 2 more of them, so when you do actually take down this mini baby Hydra, then we're gonna be dealing with 2 more Wyverns, and I wasn't able to do anarchy all the way from the left side because the Hydra was there, the boss, so I basically had to play hide and seek again. You can see they quickly spawn where my, quickly spawn in this area, so they can teleport behind you, and they are super dangerous. So I heard footsteps, I turned invisible, I did not want to mess with them. So I kill one, and now to deal with 1 more, so always count of how many you destroy because anytime they can teleport behind you and they can ruin your solo flawless career. So finally we kill the last one, the deadly Wyverns, where they can one-shot you, and now we're dealing with probably the most stressful part throughout this entire Nightfall, I'm gonna be wasting probably 7 minutes of my life. And you're probably wondering why this took me 49 minutes. It was dealing with the barrier champions, and they are super RNG, but first things first, you have to take down the goblins. And it's this moment where you see them hopping around like bunnies. Like a troll, like this guy. Look at this guy. He's just jumping. It's the barrier champion. It's like, hello, Blur, gonna jump like a bunny. Does it frustrate you? Of me jumping left and right like a bunny. Yes, it does. Stop doing that. You can see now I'm just trying to gather some heavy because I am going to be dealing with 4 barrier champions I have to take down. I haven't tested it fully, but I think if you do just tag them and then just destroy the boss, you can still get platinum, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm pretty sure someone can, you know, comment and let me know if you can just tag all 4 champions and then just kill the boss and just get platinum, because if you can, then probably next time I'll just do that. I'll just kill 3, tag the girlfriend of the Hydra, and then just take down the boss. You know, get platinum. Like I said, over here can be very difficult, so now I need to deal with 4 barrier champions, and I was counting up how many I need to kill, so it's basically 4. So I kill 1, and I need to take down 3 more. And time was running out because I was looking at my time, and I was at 15k points, and I want to focus only 100k, right? So I only had a couple of minutes before it goes to 99, so I did not want that to happen in this video. I just want to get it done and over it, because I was just having a lot of bad luck with these barrier champions. Now if these barrier champions were cooperating, you know, being my best friend, you know, letting me destroy them, then I'd probably be done right now or earlier, you know. And it could be very stressful, you know, dealing with these barrier champions, and I'm trying to make them move. And another thing I like to mention is these barrier champions, they teleport. They're there and then they disappear, so you have to be super careful with them. Like, they are buggy, super buggy, and it can be very, very frustrating. So I throw a nade, put anarchy body shot so he can be destroyed. Of course, there's a warmind cell, which is an option for you to destroy or not. So now I'll be dealing a few more champions. So I think there is 2 more, so I'm trying to see if I can bait this Hydra. But this boss was not moving, and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to deal with this champion. You can see one is jumping up and down. That's the girl from the Hydra, by the way. Very clingy. The most clingy barrier champion throughout this entire game. So yeah, it's gonna be very, very fun. And when I mean fun, it's for you, not for me, by the way. So I was trying to see if I can get the clingy barrier champion, but he was just not working out. Kept messing around with me. It was so annoying. And I'm trying to take down this barrier champion, and I was having trouble with these couple of champions. Like, they were just not cooperating. I was trying to see if I could put an anarchy shot, and it looked okay. I was like, okay, everything looks good. Trying to see if I can make the Hydra boss move so I could take down this annoying barrier champion. It was just so frustrating. I just could not believe these little itty bitty barrier champions are very annoying. So you can see here I'm going to take down this barrier champion, the final one, and Jesus Christ, like, it was just so ridiculous. And now time is making me stressed. So I had 0 anarchy and I was panicking. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna get that 100k. That's what I thought. So I was like, okay, maybe there are heavy bricks in the floor. You're probably wondering why, like, sometimes I'm running and sometimes I'm not. My R2 PS5 controller is not working well. So sometimes it makes me spam anarchy, like 3 shots, which I don't want it to do. So you can see here, I'm just gonna be spamming anarchy because I was in panic mode. And I wanted to use my super, by the way, but the problem is, if I use my super and the boss is shooting me, then he's going to destroy me and it's not going to be fun. And then there goes my solo flawless, 100k. So it was a big risk, so I decided to just spam anarchy. And I should have thrown my nade. So over here I was panicking, as I said it before, and I should have went to the stairs from the right side. That was my mistake. And I thought that this boss was gonna, like, you know, just float around this area, you know, just be easy on me. But I was wrong. Finally killed the boss. I was happy. I was like, yay! I barely made it. Because I was really terrified. You can see 2 more seconds and I was done. I had a lot of bad luck in this video, but, you know, we got the 100k, so that's all that matters, to be honest, in this video. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.